Somewhere along a quiet national highway, in the outskirts of a small town, there stood an old, quiet guest house known as Good Days Inn. The area was peaceful, with only a few vehicles passing by now and then, and few local residents around. Yet, despite the tranquil setting, the people in the area whispered tales of something sinister. It was said that guests who stayed at the guest house would often hear strange sounds in the night, metal scraping over bricks, followed by heavy footsteps walking across the floors. These sounds would echo throughout the building during the deep hours of the night. However, no one dared to speak too much about the history of this place, as it was rumored that those who did would be cursed.
Have you seen my husband?
Years ago, Good Days Inn was a peaceful retreat for a young couple, Mary Sho and her husband Sokn. They opened the guest house as a place of leisure, a getaway where people could enjoy their time.
Welcome to our home. We are so happy to have you here.
With the elderly Kim-moon, around 55 years old, overseeing its operations.
I hope you like this.
Mary was a beautiful woman, in her 20s, with long black hair and sparkling eyes. She and Sokn were madly in love and spent their days running the inn, sharing sweet
I've never felt
moments
this
together.
way before.
Me neither. This is perfect.
But things began to change after their marriage. Sokn became possessive, controlling Mary in ways that made her feel trapped.
What are you hiding from me, Mary?
Sokn, please.
How could you do this to me, Mary?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sokn.
One day, in a fit of jealousy, Sokn accused Mary of having an affair with another man.
Please, no.
Despite her denial and her desperate pleas for forgiveness, Sokn refused to believe her. In a rage, he bound her with a rope and chained her legs with metal shackles, locking her away in a hidden room beneath the house. Mary, starving and desperate, screamed for help, but no one came.
Help me, please! Hello, is anyone out there?
Alone and terrified, she died there,
Please!
still waiting for her husband to rescue her, convinced that she had done nothing wrong. But the story doesn't end there. Sokn, too, mysteriously vanished. Some say he died within the house, with his spirit following the course of his own guilt and torment. Many years later, a young man named Sovanara arrived at Good Days Inn, unaware of its dark past. After a long drive, he found himself low on gas and, fearing he might not make it to his destination, decided to stop and rent a room. The innkeeper, the elderly Kimun, gave him a key to a small room, but not without a warning. Do not open the door after midnight.
Do not open the door after midnight.
Do not worry.
Sovanara, thinking it was just a harmless piece of advice, smiled and went up to his room. The room was small, with the smell of old wood lingering in the air. The bed creaked as he laid down, and the dim candlelight cast unsettling shadows on the walls. Sovanara felt uneasy, but exhaustion soon took over, and he drifted into sleep. Sovanara had just started to doze off when he heard a faint creak, like metal scraping against brick. It was distant at first, but soon the heavy footsteps echoed, growing louder outside his door. He groggily tried to ignore it, but the sounds were too persistent. Finally, frustration got the best of him. He got up, opened the door to investigate, but the hallway outside was dark, with nothing but the faint glow of a candle at the end. The sounds stopped, and everything went silent. Confused, but trying to put his mind at ease, Sovanara returned to bed, hoping to sleep through the night. But the eerie creaks began again, growing nearer and nearer, until he could hear the footsteps right outside his door. In the middle of the night, Sovanara was jolted awake by a slow, deliberate knock on his door. Knock, knock, knock. The sound was chilling, as if someone was deliberately trying to reach him. "Who's there?" he called, but no answer came. Hesitant, he opened the door, only to find no one in the hallway. He quickly shut the door and tried to return to his bed, but just as he lay down, the strange creaking and heavy footsteps started again, now directly in front of his door. Terror gripped Sovanara as he realized the sounds were no longer just noises. There was something there. His heart raced as he opened the door in a panic. Standing in front of him was a young woman, her long black hair covering her face, dressed in a nightgown. Her hands were bound with rope, and her legs shackled with metal. Her face was pale and lifeless, her eyes hollow, void of any life. She gazed at Sovanara, and in a soft, eerie voice, she asked,
Have you seen my husband? Have you seen Sokn? Where is he?
No.
Sovanara, filled with dread, quickly replied, I haven't seen him, and slammed the door shut.
Oh my God!
He ran back to the bed, pulling the covers over his head, praying for the morning to come. As the night wore on, the strange sounds continued to echo. Sovanara refused to open his eyes, too terrified to move. The next morning, he hurriedly packed his belongings and went downstairs to speak with the innkeeper, Kimun. He asked, his voice trembling, who was that woman? She was asking for her husband. Kimun looked at him with empty eyes and replied, her name was Mary Show.
Her name name was Mary Sho. She lived here with her husband, Sokn, but one night after a terrible argument, Sokn locked her in the cellar. She died there, and now she haunts the inn, searching for him every night.
Sovanara, shaken to his core, left the inn without a second thought. But as he drove away, he swore he could still hear the woman's voice, faintly whispering in his ear.
Have you seen my husband? Have you seen Sokn? Where is he? Have you seen my husband? Have you seen Sokn? Where is he?
Sovanara never returned to Good Day's Inn, but the haunting questions lingered. Where is Sokn's spirit now? Is he still hidden somewhere in that house? Or did Mary's ghost finally find him? Some say that her restless soul will never stop searching, but the answers remain a chilling mystery.